Well, hi there, it's Jennifer. Welcome to my channel. In today's video, we are talking about perseverance. I'm also going to title this video Perseverance Part 3. If this is your first time here, I have been creating content on YouTube now for 2 months. Just a hair over 2 months. I can hardly believe it. It was something I had put off for 5 years for a whole host of reasons. I really didn't even know how to begin a channel. I knew I really wanted to. I also had some limiting beliefs that I had to figure out how to squash so I could actually step into this content creating adventure. And I finally did it. And I also didn't know how to begin. Being a YouTube consumer for so many years, you know, you'd think it would have been such a natural thing for me to, be like, well, you watch it all the time, easy breezy, right? It wasn't. I really didn't quite know how to start. And I knew that I wanted my channel to be a lifestyle channel. I knew that I wanted to share. I knew that I wanted to encourage and uplift, but I really didn't even know how to create a first video. So I ended up picking a topic, which was, why don't I just document myself getting in front of the camera and learning how to upload and practicing things like vlogging. And I've dealt with copyright ID claims and, you know, topics like persevering, overcoming obstacles, just limiting beliefs, you name it. I just started documenting my experience as I began adding to my channel other topics that I hope that will be a blessing to anybody who may watch it. And of course, my channel is so brand new, it will only continue to blossom and develop. So Perseverance Part 1, that was my third video I ever recorded. I share how I ended up having a huge bug, and it wasn't a small bug either. It was a large bug that was on my head. During this video that I had created, I went down to a pretty place here in Anchorage, Alaska. I thought I want to get out in the beautiful environment and record this video. I talked 12 minutes. I was heading back, and this lovely insect just decided to park it on my head. And it was so obvious. And I mean, I'm so ignorance is bliss, because you know, once I realized, I was watching the video back as I was making my way back to my car. I'm like, what is that in my hair? Is that straw? It was windy where I was at. But of course, the bug had already left my head, probably conveniently once I hit stop record on that video. But that was Perseverance Part 1. And Perseverance Part 2, I talk about how I ended up having a gigantic whitehead. Because, you know, as humans, you have breakouts, and I'm a menopausal woman, and it's honestly like I am a hormonal teenager. I have never had more breakouts in my entire life than since menopause. So I have a bone to pick about that. But anyway, I had this gigantic whitehead right here. Filmed this video. I did a whole bunch of different clips. I was also outside in my city. I went down to a coastal trail. I think I was talking about, dealing with overwhelm and making sure you get out and relax and enjoy the environment and all the things. And it wasn't until I got home, I could not go back and re-record that day. And yeah, so that was Perseverance Part 3. Perseverance Part 4, I do have a story to tell, a filming story, but then also I've got the worst writing you could ever imagine. It's like Dr./Chicken Scratch. It's so bad. My notes are not organized. I've got a lot of different ideas, and they're written and jotted down in corners and not at all in order. But I'm going to be looking down and looking at my notes and marking them off. So I will tell you a filming story that I had to persevere through. I also have my White Raven mug. Nobody here for this winter season. We are in December 2024. We haven't seen the White Raven. Now, this was a migratory raven that flew in from the Kenai Peninsula, and it actually could still be on the Kenai. Nobody really quite knows, but we got to enjoy this bird. So I've got my White Raven mug. I'll be sipping from it. So one filming obstacle that I had to persevere through, and in fact, I still haven't filmed this topic to my satisfaction yet, but I had a topic that was really important to me, and it was on empty nesting. And I've had various thoughts about how I want to address empty nesting on my channel, because currently that is exactly what I am going through right now. I'm kind of more toward the outer edge of almost officially in empty nesting, but I've had more than one child going, and the numbers are dwindling, and I am just around the corner from officially being an empty nester. But my full-time career of homeschooling, actively raising my children of 30 years, that chapter has closed. I'm a full-time homemaker. So empty nesting is a topic that's very important to me. I really want to do it justice. So I have tried several attempts to film that topic, to film a video, an introduction video on that topic of empty nesting, because on my channel, it is something that I do want to address, because that's currently what I'm going through right now. And it's a challenge. It's an emotional roller coaster. Well, anyway, I was out birding here in Anchorage, Alaska. And, I had already and have been mentally preparing for this video. And you may have this where, you are already mentally preparing, the points you want to make, this is a video you want to do. Well, so this topic of wanting to create a video on empty nesting had already been playing around in my mind. And I happened to be out birding, looking for ravens here in the city of Anchorage. And I was at this location on a weekend, and the weekends are very quiet. On the weekends, the non-employees can go park in this utility building's parking lot, and it is a pit stop for ravens. I mean, 20, 30, 40, 50 of them will come in now that it's the dead of winter. And so it's a fun place to go, and it's very quiet on the weekends. Pigeons and other birds are there. It's just a really nice place to be. And they also have this like a little picnic area. There's a little treed area in the middle of their parking lot. It's grassy, a little bit of a hill, picnic benches there. And, in the wintertime, there'll be bald eagles there. It's just a little like oasis in this one part of Anchorage. So I was out birding, and it was just such a pretty day. And it was really on my heart to want to film this video. So I got all set up, and nobody else was there too. It was just me only. And there was a beautiful pine tree behind me. And then you could just see kind of the area like where the picnic benches were. It was like a really pretty background. And I love backgrounds. So I'm always looking for something interesting to add to my videos when I can. And it was just the perfect opportunity. And so I got set up, and I started recording that video, and it was flowing. Everything that I wanted to say was just coming easily. Sometimes when you get ready to record, there's a bit of a warm-up process. At least I have found. There's this wonderful brand new YouTuber called Making Core Memories, and she will add bloopers to the end of her videos. And I'm like, I should really do that too, because it takes time to warm up. Well, anyway, so I'd gotten warmed up, and I was in it. I was about 6 minutes into this video, and my heart, all the things I wanted to share from my heart were just flowing. And I was unscripted too. I wasn't looking down at anything. I just was sharing from the heart. And then all of a sudden I noticed, like right here in the frame, there was a gentleman. And which of course kind of caught me, because I'm talking about something, personal, and also something emotional, very meaningful. And he wasn't like right behind me, but he was not far behind me at all. Maybe 15, 20 feet, he was right there in the space where I was. And of course, to me, I'm thinking it's obvious that I was talking, I was recording, I was, standing away from the camera. I had you on a tripod, like what I've got you on right now. And sure enough, he was perfectly in frame and close enough that it wasn't like you could barely see him, like he was this big. He was like here. And of course, obviously at that point I had to stop the video. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I had to stop the video. And, you know, and of course I didn't know who this person was, and it was only us in the parking lot. So I just went right back to my truck, and I, you know, was getting warmed up and waiting for him to leave. And he was there. I think he was just there. He was just there photographing the birds and looking for the birds. So, you know, no harm. But he finally did leave. And then I had to go back and rewatch what I had recorded, because I thought, well, you know what, maybe I'll just go ahead and record this in clips. And, you know, I'll just do it that way, like little segments. And so I had to, you know, listen to that video again, remind myself where I was, kind of get like back into that space of sharing that topic. And I got set up in the same area. I got ready to go. I'm hitting record. I'm 2 minutes into now part like 2 of this video. And I can hear what sounds like a vehicle about to die. It was so loud. And what it was there at that time when I had done this was early November. Our snow came late for us here in Anchorage. We had got 2 feet of snow dumped on us in like 2 days. So the snow came, and it came proper with a good snowstorm. So everybody, you know, was in the process of shoveling and snow blowing themselves out of their driveways and whatnot. Well, this was a city plow that started working in a residential area that was right near where this utility building was. And this plow's engine sounded like it was dying. It was so loud, and it sounded god-awful. And of course, obviously, I had to stop recording because you could just hear this horrific engine sound. And you know how it is if you live in a cold climate, and in those early morning hours, you know, when things are cooler, just in general, sound travels. It was so loud. So of course I had to stop the video then. And I'm like, so at that point, you know, I still wanted to film in that area because it had such a pretty background. It was such a pretty area. You could hear the birds and, you know, just peaceful. So I went and drove around for a while, finally came back now. And of course I had to re-listen to both of the previous recordings just to once again get my mind set back to where I was. And I got all set up to go in the same area. Sirens. I'm not kidding you. It was like one thing after another. And at that point I was like, you know what? I think I'm done for the day. I think we're going to revisit this topic a different day. It was just frustrating. Well, later on in the week, I ended up trying to record that video, that topic, in another area. But I'm coming to you from, like I said, Anchorage, Alaska. I mentioned that earlier. And we are losing daylight rapidly. We have civil twilight, a longer period of civil twilight on either side of the sun rising and setting. But when our sun does come up, it's really low in the horizon, and then it dips back down. So the lighting can be really terrible. And I had tried to record that video again at our library, but it was an overcast day, and just add to it lower light in general in the sky, and it just didn't look good. So I had to scratch it again. Well, then a couple of weeks later, so I just like shelved that project. Well, then a couple of weeks later, I am back at that waste utility building birding, because I have discovered in my empty nesting, midlifing stage, I love birding. And the white raven, following this bird around all last year, I just fell in love with it. And I love ravens and always have. And now I purposefully follow them around to photograph them. And they're so fascinating. So I was back birding. And once again, it was on a weekend. It was very quiet. And I had the intention of, okay, I'm going to try that video again. I kind of changed up some of the ways I was going to do things. And so I had this new idea going on, and I park in the parking lot. And this time now I don't go to the same tree area, but I backed up against this, like a little hill that just kind of went up to like where the park benches were, and it has these little shrubberies around it. It had some spruce trees, but then it also that there's some really cool like parking light lamp posts that are in this parking lot, and right behind me was a really cool looking lamp post. So I just loved the background with the the snow and the shrubbery and the trees and the light post, and it was shining just a really pretty soft light, and I'm like, this is perfect, I love this. And I begin filming my empty nesting video. Of course, it always takes time to get warmed up. I got warmed up, I got ready, I'm in it 12 minutes, and then the light shut off. Now the problem with that was because if and cell phones are kind of finicky when it comes to lighting, as I'm sure other cameras are too, but I'm not a professional photographer. I just know what I deal with my cell phone. And once that light shut off, the tone and the lighting and the whole feel of my video completely changed. And I remember looking up and I was like, oh, the light just shut off. I hadn't thought about that when I got set up, that, that light could probably shut off. And it caught me so much. And then the screen looked completely different. And of course I paused and I'm like, oh my goodness, the light. And like, wow, it looks like we're filming a completely different video. Like it looks like a whole different video with the coloring. And, but I did continue on with the video, got to the end of it. It was maybe 20, 25 minutes, somewhere in there. And I got home, I uploaded it, and I tried rewatching that thing. Well, no, I didn't try rewatching it. I did rewatch it several times, trying to love that video, but I just could not get over how it looked once the light shut off. Now, either coloring scheme and feel looked great, but the fact that that video switched halfway through, and then of course I respond like, oh, because it was just such a difference, I had to scrap it again. And yeah, so that was several weeks ago. So, as content creators, there's so much that we need to persevere through. Now, that topic is still a very important topic to me. I did record a video this week about it, about starting YouTube in empty nest, because definitely for me, that has been a huge help. It's still not that video that I wanted to share. That video topic I wanted to share was definitely more the emotional experience of going through empty nesting and what it's been like. So that's shelved. I still haven't done it, but I do want to do it. So I am indeed going to have to persevere and eventually film that. But it is shelved for now. I am 2 days away from a surgery on my nose that got postponed. In fact, also another thing so I've got a few more topics. So that was the filming story for Perseverance Part 3. But here's some other issues that you and I will have to persevere through. And, a lot of times I think as new content creators, it can be a little discouraging getting our channel started. Because we are, establishing a habit of recording. We are working on identifying how we want to present ourselves on our channel. It is a process. It's like a metamorphosis. You begin one thing, and then it's like we start off as caterpillars when we first start our channel. And then as you're beginning to create content and figure out just who you are as a creator and how you want to express yourself, that may be a process. And eventually we will have a channel that is really authentic to who we are and what we want to present. But it's a process, and we do have to process and persevere through that metamorphosis. That's definitely something I'm going through. I'm still trying to figure out exactly how I want to create content and what types of topics I want to upload and what that looks like, while still honoring my creative style. And you have to persevere through that. Another thing that you're going to have to persevere through is the habit forming process. I was thinking about this because I've heard now, because I put YouTube off for 5 years, I spent a long time watching YouTube. And I also spent a long time, meaning I spent a long time watching the how to do a YouTube videos. I watched so many of them. For years, I'd watch them. And a lot of those content creators, because they were all people who had really been well established, and they said so many creators quit. And I forget what the numbers are of how many people upload. It's huge, a huge number of people that upload content, but then like the few amounts that actually upload content regularly. And it's not a lot of people, surprisingly, considering like the massiveness of the platform and the massive amounts of content being uploaded. The people who do it consistently are actually quite few. And I could see why that could happen for several reasons. Maybe you just kind of have you're like, oh, you know what, maybe I'm just going to throw up a video on this one topic and just put it up there. People will put up videos about their health surgeries and things. And so they may upload, I had back surgery and here's like some of my healing process. And that may be all they ever upload. Or, some people may start a YouTube channel, start uploading content, but then maybe they discovered that they actually don't like it. I could see how that could be something. It's like you go to start a hobby and you thought you were going to love this hobby, but then you're like, oh, actually, I don't know if I really, really like doing this thing. So I'm sure that there's a certain percentage of people that, begin that process of uploading and just decide, you know what, I don't know if I like it. Or it could be that they start uploading content, but maybe they're, where they are at in life isn't allowing them to upload consistently, or they're struggling to fit that in consistently into their life. So I'm sure there's a variety of reasons why people struggle with consistency. Now, I'm a person who I want to be consistent. I am at a place in my life where I want to upload content regularly. I want to really throw myself into my YouTube channel as a passion. And so that's what I want to do. And I'm ready for that in my life. But I still have to persevere through the habit forming process. And it takes time to develop a habit and a schedule, a routine that allows you and I to upload content on a regular basis, and whatever that may look like for us. I'm still trying to figure out my schedule regularity. I'm working around a surgery. I was supposed to have the surgery 2 weeks ago. I almost thought it was going to be postponed again because I got so sick. I blame my son. He was patient 0. And I don't know what he had, some kind of viral, to quote a line from Devil Wears Prada, he was an incubus of viral plague, and he brought it to the house, and I ended up catching it after my surgery already had to be postponed for another medical issue. And anyway, I'm feeling so much better, which is why I'm recording this video, but I've lost an entire week. So I'm still trying to figure out what my routine will be. And after I have my surgery and the new year comes along and I'm healed, I'm really hoping that's going to establish. But we will have to persevere through the habit forming, routine forming process to where creating content becomes a part of our lives. And we will have to persevere through that and not quit, which is where maybe a 30-day, 30 video challenge might be a help. At least I found for me it was. So that's that. Oh, another thing. I'm just like, my notes are so bad, you guys. My stomach is growling, but I'm persevering through this video. In hindsight, I probably should have eaten, but my stomach is growling and I hope it will not come at least I don't have a microphone right here, but it's kind of loud. I should have eaten. That's also something too, when you get ready to film, there are certain things that you have to be aware of, and that would be a whole other video topic, but I probably should have eaten. That would have been wise. But we are going to persevere even through the tummy growling situation. Here's another thing that we're going to have to persevere through as new content creators. Because I can sense it in myself. I think this is a natural thing. And I have followed a wonderful creator. She is called The Wild West, or In the Wild West. Life in the Wild West. Tracy, Life in the Wild West. And she's wonderful. She has a fantastic channel. And I've really enjoyed her content. But she said something just recently that really struck me, because she had started her channel a year ago, and she's got over 700 subscribers. Her content's beautiful. I think her channel's doing amazingly well and incredible. But she was struggling with the fact that at a year, she was, just didn't have the subscriber count she wanted. I'm not, like all of us on YouTube, I mean, we really do hope to reach and impact people. And that's why we're doing what we're doing. It's such a great way to be a blessing and to encourage, to uplift, to teach, to entertain, to bring joy, to bring laughter. What a great platform. And of course, definitely when we pour our hearts and souls into our videos, you want it to make a difference. You hope that it touches somebody. That's why we're doing what we're doing, I would say, for the most part. And anyway, so she was expressing that. And she had talked about, too, how she had almost stopped doing YouTube after a year. But she has continued to persevere and don't quit. But one thing she said in a recent video that I loved is she said that she is honoring her own journey, because sometimes it's very disheartening. Like, I've seen it too, because it's so interesting. So I've got my regular YouTube channel that I've just been a consumer on, and it's perfectly curated. Well, now I have this YouTube channel where I'm the creator, my introverted YouTuber channel, and my algorithm doesn't know what to do, because I'm interacting with so many amazing content creators from all different niches and genres that my algorithm has no clue what to offer me. But I do see a lot of new YouTubers like myself. I have seen a couple of YouTubers who have only been doing YouTube for like 2 months, and their channels have blown up where they have thousands of subscribers. One channel in particularly, The Simple Retired Life. Her content's beautiful, by the way. Raina, My Simple Retired Life, beautiful channel. I'm subscribed. I love her channel. She's a woman in her 60s, retired, beautiful content. It's just, she calls herself a nothing burger, but I'm telling you what, this woman is anything but a nothing burger, because she has a beautiful home. Her channel, she's only been doing YouTube, I think, as long as I have. And she's got like 30 plus thousand subscribers. And, her content is gorgeous though. And I think, there are some of these people that I don't know what it is about their niche, their genre, their age, their place in life, that it just triggers like the right influx and people respond. And, everyone's a little bit different. And it's like, wow. And not that like, because I don't want that to sound egotistical, like, well, I want to have that many. No. And I think what it is this is why I can express it from myself, and this is not the most eloquent, is I think when you do see a response to your videos and your channel, it lets you know that hopefully your content is blessing another soul, right? So when we as creators, I guess I'm speaking for myself. So if I see my subscriber count going up or people liking my videos, it's not like, oh, it's an ego boost, but that is a validation of, oh, gosh, I hope that video was a blessing to somebody, or it made a difference or an impact, or somebody felt comforted, or, just enjoyed being with me for a video. And because time is valuable. So if people give your time, and we know on YouTube too, like, when you like or you subscribe, that's huge. I mean, that's a gift. And So for me, it's not an ego thing, but it's like a validation of, I hope that what I'm trying to express is hopefully touching the heart of somebody in one way or another. And so anyway, so as new YouTube creators, you know, my channel is just a slow growing channel, which I do think is appropriate because I am still finding my way on this platform. And I'm in that metamorphosis stage. I think some people are really established already. And this lady, Raina, I believe her name is Raina. I've only been watching her just for a little time, but her content's beautiful, by the way. She's a classy lady. You know, her channel's just blown up. I've seen, I saw a video. In fact, I think I was one of the first people to comment on this one lady's videos. She's in her 60s. I can't remember what her channel name is because I just saw that one video. I watched it. And because I've had so many amazing people in my comment section, the most amazing people have commented under my videos. And it's been a reminder to me to make sure I play that forward and share the love, because I am naturally a more reserved person. I am shy. I'm outgoing and shy all at the same time. And I'm very introverted and reserved. I think a lot of things I don't always do. And I'm working on that. And I've been so inspired by the people in my comment section that I'm like, Jennifer, you do the same thing. As much as that's touched you, now you go touch somebody else. So if you're one of the dear, sweet people who leave comments in my videos, you've inspired me, which has also been a side gift of becoming a content creator. So anyway, I watched this lady's video and I'm like, I want to give her some love. Well, the last time I checked her video, that video had over 1,200 views. It was just her first video. You know, and as new content creators, we have to persevere through all of that. Because like Tracy said in the Wild West, that we all have our own journey. And that's what she was saying, Tracy, was that she had to recognize that her journey is her journey and that somebody else's journey is their journey. So wonderful Raina from My Simple Retired Life, her journey is to reach obviously a large amount of people who are retired. You know, she's talked about being laid off and having a simple life, and, you know, she's single, and, you know, that's her journey though. And she's ready for that. And her content proves that. It continues to prove that. And not that like our, you know, a smaller channel people, it's not like our content is not that, but, you know, it's just we all have our own journeys like in life. In fact, you know, there's even a Bible verse about that, how God says in the Bible that we are not to compare ourselves to others because it's unwise. And that's paraphrased. Comparing ourselves amongst ourselves is not wise. Why? Because we all have a journey. You know, each one of us, and we will reach and connect with those who we are meant to reach and connect to. And we do have to trust the process, and we have to persevere through maybe any discouraging feelings or self-doubt of like, you know, gosh, is my content like really, is it good? Am I expressing myself right? Is it touching anybody? And we have to persevere through that doubt of when we see a lot of variety around us of growth, right? So Tracy's reminder, obviously, which was to herself, and then she shared that in her video, touched me. And I was like, oh, that is so true. That really speaks to my heart. So Tracy, if you're watching this, thank you so much. That really blessed me. And I know that it's going to bless you, because as new content creators, we are going to have to persevere through that. And I think that might be all of my notes. Yeah, I think that's a great place to end this video on perseverance. You know, remember, we'll be persevering through obstacles. We're going to be persevering through the habit forming process, persevering through figuring out who we are on our YouTube channels. For some people, they may know that right away. We will be persevering through what our journey is meant to be. We will watch people start a channel tomorrow and they may have 50,000 subscribers, and that's their journey. That's what they're meant to do. I need to not lose focus and do what is on my heart as a creator, and hopefully continue to grow and develop and get better at the craft. And that's what I need to persevere through. So I hope that helps you today. And I hope you have a wonderful morning or afternoon or evening, wherever you may be. And until the next video, bye.